Thank you for tuning into another episode with Arthur Nikki Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. Today's guest is Brian Grindin. He is a multi-talented individual in the television industry, videography, audio engineering, music productions, and regional promotions. So, after this countdown, please welcome this example of greatness to the stage. Hello, how you doing today?
Space. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Breaking the Silence.
And thanks for having me.
So tell me, how did your journey in television start?
Man, been in television now. It's 2024. First time on television was in '98.
Mm.
Um, I ran with a lot of people. I cast character group. One of my cousins was good friends with Run from Run DMC.
Mm.
So I mean, from a child, I've been in the mix of a lot of this stuff. He also ran with Zulu Nation, which is what got me hooked into music. Grew up listening to music like everybody else. Little kid from the country, wanted to get into music. Got lucky, met a few people, got into music. Um, Done some travels. Came across a lot of great people. Ghetto Boys, Boot Camp, Click, Flip Mode Squad. List goes on and on.
Wow.
Done everything from producing tracks to assistant production for videos. You name it, I've probably done it once or twice. So,
Wow. When I went looking for you, I was like, oh man, he's done so many things. I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
yeah, I've been around, and sorry for being late. I'm in the midst right now. I'm redoing one of my studios, trying to get some new stuff in there, and time's just been pushed back to back. I know we've been playing musical interviews for about a month or two, but I'm happy to finally catch up with you good people so I can be part of
Right.
a good thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you've been busy, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy. Been doing television, like I said, since the '90s. I've worked with all types of companies. I've worked with Harpo for a while. Yeah, Oprah's studio. I've worked with Bronson Studios.
Wow.
They've done things like Ren 1010, K9 Cop, a lot of old classics. I did some assistant production over there with a lot of those guys. None of those movies, they've been gone forever. But a lot of smaller projects to a lot of
Mhm.
major companies like that. So I can say I've been pretty blessed as far as where I am, who I'm around, and what I've been doing.
Wow. You said 98. 98 was a good year. That was when I graduated from high school.
Yeah, I was 4 years before you. I was off in the military. Got out of the military, decided I wanted to try the music thing out and get my feet wet. So I took a little old trip on out to California, as they say it, and seen how things went. And got acclimated out that way. Got lucky, like I said, met a lot of people, been in a lot of great positions, right timing, I guess you could say,
Right.
which allowed me to be able to see what was going on and learn how to do it myself, which is
Wow.
basically what I did. I learned television networking from the ground up, shadowing companies, CNN, USA. I've dealt with a lot of companies, and
Wow.
I learned from some pretty talented people about far as how the game went. And once I realized I could do it myself, hey, I jumped on out there. Like they say, sky's the limit.
You're right. You're right. Wow. So how do you balance life wearing so many hats?
Well, it's you find a way. Family's first and foremost with me, so as long as the family's good, I'm good. With that being said, wife make sure she stays happy, kids to raise, make sure that they stay on the right path. You make a balance. A lot of times my kids are with me. Most of my kids are with me when I go to studios. Damn near all my kids grew up in the studio. My oldest son was in the studio since he was 2 days old. I
Wow.
remember he came home from the hospital, me, Petey Pablo, and some other people in the studio. And he's sitting in this little crate. And I mean, this is years ago, he's 21 now, so he's a grown
Wow.
man. But, it's just to say how long I've been in the mix and how heavy I try to make these things mesh well. It's not easy, but you make it work. Music's my love, my family's my passion, and moving forward and helping people is what I'm about. So we
Wow.
make it work.
That had to be an experience. I mean, well, he was only two. He was only what, 2 years old? You said at the time.
No, he was
2 months. Dang,
2 days.
two
He was
days.
out of the hospital for one day. The next day,
Wow.
he was with me in the studio running a session.
Wow. But I'm sure he's
two
came across
days.
some awesome people along the way since they've been pretty much in the studio with you.
Yeah, he's met a few people. Seen a lot of things. So he's as far as music and entertainment goes, he's pretty well versed. He sees people in the house like, whatever. But just being able to see the look on, a lot of times with kids' faces, they'll see daddy around his friends, and then they'll cut on the TV. They'll be like, I know that person. I say, yeah, that's daddy's friend. Remember? He said,
Wow.
wow, people on TV. So it's kind of funny, when you see it, but they get used to it as they get older. Guess it makes them
That's
feel
right.
cool or something.
So do they want to go into the field of music since you're talented? Do they want to take that path?
No, definitely not. I tell my kids, everything that comes with life, especially with daddy's business. And most of us watch the news. We see all the stories, and about what goes on in entertainment. So I try to be honest with my kids. I give them that gift, so that way you can make your own decisions. I don't tell them everything. 9 to 10 years
Right.
old, you can't explain everything, but you say, well, there are good people, there are bad people in this industry. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad people who seem good. But then again, that's what we all get paid to do. It's the glitz and the glamour,
Exactly.
it's the smiles, the beauty, it's the beautiful smiles. You give the beautiful smiles, you get the big checks, and for those who get the big checks. So, it's though honestly, I can honestly say I'm happy they're not interested in it. My youngest son, he wants to be like a YouTube, star or whatever. I help him do that, but I also teach him, look at this, look at these people, watch this, be mindful, don't try to
Hmm.
engage with everything. Some things aren't for you, some things
Right.
aren't meant to be defended. So, other than him, my daughter, she just likes being a little girl playing with her dolls. Maybe they'll get into it, maybe not, but whatever they choose to do, they know daddy got their back. So,
I know that's right. I know that's right. So what type of events do you have for your artists?
do all types of events. I have one artist right now, Tilly 2. Um, Thinking about picking up a couple of more. I was in the midst of retirement when I picked her up for management, but I try to do a lot of family events. I've gotten older, and I'm really in tune with trying to change the way we're per, perceived as a people, as a community. I do
Mhm.
believe that a lot of times we're looked at in a negative light. So I really
Mhm.
want to switch that up and start, highlighting a lot of the great things about our community, because we do a lot, and yeah, nobody's perfect, but hey,
Mhm.
whenever all you see is negative, eventually that's what you'll start
That's what
thinking.
you
And
are
I'm one
thinking.
of those
Mhm.
people why I got into television to combat that, which goes back to what you were asking me, like with my artists. Television breaks, all types of shows from family events, cultural events, things as such. Now, mind you, it's still a business, and money has to be made. So, we do secular shows, regular R&B shows, things like that. Never any talent shows, showcases, stuff like that. If it pays, I'll bring her. If it doesn't, I'm out. Basically.
I
But
heard that.
also, with the money thing, with the money aspect, you want to make sure, as I was just saying, you want to leave a positive mark, or at least a decent mark where people can be like, maybe this does deserve a second look. And
Right. So what kind of artists have you come in contact with, like key artists?
key artists, let's see, Bushwick Bill, you got let's see, what's my girl name? Before she blew up, is it Latoya Luckett? I think
Oh,
that's her
I
name.
love her.
Yeah, I've come across a plethora of artists. So I mean, like I said, I've done the BETs, the MTV, so I've probably seen them. Good friends of mine, Jungle Brothers, Mike G. Then I run with a lot of North Carolina large scale people too. So I mean, people.
I
I,
heard
I
that.
run into people. I mean, friend of mine I deal with, Kevin. He's pretty good. Kevin Glover. Shout out to him. Connected Television.
I know
Let's
him.
see.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
a good friend of mine. He's gotten back into management and things, with television. He's a pretty busy brother, kind of like me, so we pick up all types of stuff. But I mean, as far as just like large scale artists, Brandy, Monica, Bushwick Bill, Tupac, the Outlaws, Digital Underground, Busta, Wu Tang.
Wow.
I've met a lot of people, so
Awesome. Wow.
yeah, I've done some commercials with some guys. So I mean, it's cool. I can't complain. Can't.
I mean, is it different being in that limelight and dealing with artists that people are like, wow, all over? Is it different for you?
I mean, I don't really think about it. I guess I've probably been doing it forever, and I'm around these kind of people, on a regular basis. So to me, it's like, okay, yeah, you. If I'm not making any, I mean, that's honestly, that's how I look at things. If you're not cutting me any checks, I don't care who you are. So,
Yeah.
but that's the thing, with meeting a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of great people, but it's the insight that you
Hmm.
get from these people. You learn a lot about business and what goes on behind the scenes, behind the
Right.
smiles and the makeup and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a learning thing. If nothing else, I appreciate the opportunity to learn and really get to meet people. Those people you always like, I wonder what they're like to talk with them.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'd love to meet. I was telling my wife I'd love to meet Denzel Washington. I bet that dude has a great conversation because
Ooh.
I like how he holds media accountable for its actions.
Yes.
And I do believe, we need more of that in our community versus, the person who's willing to run up there and say, hey, let me be the token Negro that acts a fool, I definitely, plan on coming and crossing paths with Denzel or somebody along that caliber pretty soon. Just have a good conversation because I guess, I've been doing this so long. Me and most of my friends, we don't even talk about this stuff. Like we just
Mm.
have regular conversation.
Well, I mean, hey, you've been doing it so long.
Yeah, it becomes, daunting after a while. But, I love the fact that there are so many people out here, people like yourself, you guys go out here, you push and, you break the mold, man. You keep the craft growing. And that's the good thing about it. That's one thing I do love. I like to meet the new people. I don't even care about the famous people.
Hey,
I
that's where
love
the
the new
connections
people.
are.
The connections are in the new people because the new people are hungry. The new people are willing to
Mhm.
learn. The new people have their own vision and they haven't been tainted yet.
Right.
That's the thing about Hollywood. It's so many great people, but then you realize when you start talking to them, it's like, oh, you part of the problem, dude.
Mm.
But like I tell people, I understand. If this is what you've been hoping, wishing, and striving for all your life, and you finally get here, um, a lot of people it's just like having a great dream job. You're not going to lose it for anything. You'll
That
do
part.
whatever you need to do to keep it. So,
Exactly. So
but
tell me a
these
little
are
bit
things.
about Media Kings.
Media Kings is a company I decided to start once I really got burnt out with the television thing.
Mm.
Didn't like how people were being treated because I've actually been in a lot of these meetings, these roundtable meetings when guys come in and they're doing auditions and stuff. Yeah, I get to sit in a lot of that stuff. I did it for years, and I just sit around and I'd listen to the conversations before and after people would come in and out. It's like, God, nobody stands a chance in these places.
Wow.
So, I wanted to have regular people on television because what we were looking at, it's not regular people. These are people who badly want something and they're willing to do whatever to get it.
Oh, that's bad.
So yeah, it's reality. I mean, it's not like we all don't know this at this point. The internet tells everything. So you see it all coming out. It's been going on for years. This is nothing new for a lot of us who've been dealing with this industry. Now, with that, the industry itself, it has a way of damaging people, I guess. And I wanted to see people get on television and do all these great things without the collateral damage.
Mm-hmm.
People like me aren't liked well because of my views. I don't like how everything is set up, the system. This is why I started Media Kings. I decided to go around the country. I dropped out of mainstream television and went to public access and regional. Highly more affordable. I was just effective covering as many people as the mainstream markets. I just had to go travel and finagle some stuff in order to do so.
Right.
And that was Media Kings was all about. It was an opportunity for me to give people a chance to get where they wanted to get to without having to deal with those people in those rooms.
Right.
Because it's those rooms. It's not the business itself is already shaky, but it's those rooms, the people. Something got to be done about that. And until we can, you have alternatives like mine. You can go with Media Kings. You can go Connected Television. We all run with these large-scale television manufacturing companies. Hey, man, go small, build up a big network for us,
Mm-hmm. And still have the same results.
Yeah, you're going to have the same results. Well, actually, you won't have the same results. I believe the results will be better because the results that we have right now come from people who don't like us, who already have a perceived notion about us, and they create our content. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
So we need Media Kings. We need Connected Television. We need, any and everybody, people who look like us, who are willing to put forth the work, willing to put the vision out there, and willing to stand up and say, we don't have to watch this. There's better content.
Right.
It doesn't have to always be about dysfunction. So Media Kings was created to get rid of the dysfunction. So,
you have to break that generational curse.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. And I'm all about ownership. Being part of something big is great, but creating something big, that's legendary.
Whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. A lot of us want to join in, and I think that was part of the problem. It's kind of like Martin Luther King, when he finally sat back before he was assassinated. He said, I believe I accidentally led my people into a burning building. And he understood there was a mistake. He wanted to try to join in, and maybe we shouldn't have. Sometimes you shouldn't join in with things. Sometimes you should leave them where they are and start your own.
Exactly.
And I do think that it's high time, people like you, me, Kev, anybody out here who's willing to help, the regular people, the normals, as I call us. Oh, we're the normals. We live normal lives. We go to work. We come home. We budget for bills and food, and we go hang out with friends and talk junk occasionally about each other. Normal people stuff.
Exactly.
So, and this is what I want to see. That's why I commend wonderful people like yourself. I see you out here, and a lot of people like you reaching out, to the community, because that's where our power is, in the community. So we need to get back to that.
We got to. That's the only way we're gonna all win.
We do. I see it every day when I'm out here. Like I was saying, I've seen more than enough to say that I think enough is enough. We all really need to be riding the coattails of people who look like us, start supporting these small networks, turn them into big networks. We always give, the other guys, all of our time, all of our loyalty, all of our fanship. And we got our own people out here,
It's doing
and
great things.
we're doing great things, and we're doing wonderful content. So and we're talking about things that actually matter in our community. So I
Exactly.
commend you for that. I commend all who
Thank
are
you.
following, in your footsteps and people like us. And I hope to see all of us at the top one day. We'll see
Yes,
you at
sir.
work, as Denzel would say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I'll see you at work.
tell me a little bit about, is it Coronal Networks?
Corona Networks started. It was three guys when we were young. First moved to Raleigh. I didn't know anybody, as far as especially dealing with music. And hooked up with a couple of guys, and we started a group. It was called Corona Fam. I forgot where the Corona part came from. Uh, It was something crazy, but it was a funny story between me and one of my homeboys. His name was Mike. It was actually Mike that came up with the Corona word. So we ran with the Corona. I like the idea. I said Corona. I said because I think I looked it up. It meant something like soldier or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. We can ride with that. But yeah, Corona fam, man. 1999,
Mm.
I came back right before I went to Cali. I met them. We started Corona Fam. It was a hip hop group. This was around the time it was a lot of labels that were doing some stuff out in Raleigh. And Raleigh was starting to bubble, as far as radio plays with hip hop
Mhm.
artists and things like that. But anyways, yeah, we rode Corona Fam for a while. Time goes by, we all separated. I kept the Corona name. I basically, carried the name anyway. So I decided to change it to networks. Once I started breaking out of music, I wanted to get more into television. I was on
Mm.
tour, funny story. I was hanging out with my boy Stormy from the Outlaws. And we were overseas. And I bumped into a friend of mine who I was in the military with. Now, this guy was doing well. And he was doing independent television. So this is how the whole big TV thing started, and I went from there. So I
Mm.
see he was doing quite well for himself. So he like, well, what you doing over here? I'm hanging out. I'm on tour with my friends. He said, come hang out with us. We go over there. I mean, beautiful home, man. Beautiful home. He said, yeah, man, we've been over here doing independent television for about 2 or 3 years now because I hadn't seen him since we all got out of the military.
Right.
He said, so what you doing? He seen I was doing. He said, man, you ought to try to get into what we got going on. So I hung out with them for a couple of days before we shot back off on the tour. Long story short, after tour, they ended up coming out to the States for something, and then we all got back together again and said, he said, man, did you think about what I was telling you about the TV stuff? I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna try it. So he plugged me in with some people. He allowed me to do some shadow work for some folks, and this is when I start getting in with companies like USAC and then folks like that.
Mm.
Yeah, you see a lot, man. It's this whole television thing is who you know.
You're
Who
right.
you know where you at.
And it's sad, but hey, that's life,
It's
actually.
life. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's life. But nevertheless, long story short, I've seen the TV life. I like the TV life. It paid more than music.
Mm.
So I
Really?
jumped ship. Yeah, television pays a lot more than music. Most people,
Wow.
I used to, old man once gave me a saying. He said, the richest person you can find on a music venue, he said, don't even match to the person in television. And that's the
Mm.
person you don't even know.
But
Television is
it's funny you say
television is
that
I don't want
though.
to know you money.
It's funny you say that because there's always somebody in the news saying that they're underpaid as an actor or actress.
Yeah, a lot of them are underpaid. I mean, people look at the millions and they say, well, you made $7 million. Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's not fair if your counterpart that don't look like you cleared 20 million. And the sad part about it is people will hear that and they'll get upset. You're not even looking at the fact that the person, even though they made more than you, they got robbed. It's kind of like I tell people, I say now, if you was a starving artist and I walked up to you, I said, Nicole, I love your music. Here's $150,000 cash. That's yours because you deserve it. I would be
Mm.
your friend, right?
More than likely, with money speaking,
Yeah,
money make people talk.
money make people talk. You're right about that. Now, say 5 years down the road, you realize the 150,000 I gave you made me 22.9 million.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, you see
problem.
how you just look? No, it's wrong now, ain't it? See how this works? Now, see, a person who ain't in this business deal is going to look at you and say, "Well, you were blessed anyway. You were lucky to get that."
Mhm. Yep.
They didn't look at the fact that you were robbed.
Mm.
See, a lot of people tend to look at the picture that they want to see. They don't look at the whole picture. Because if you look
Right.
at the whole picture, now you got to realize that, hey, maybe you're not as smart as you believe you are. Two, this could happen to you. And three, you knew it was wrong, which makes you look more like an asshole.
Okay.
So, it's
Man.
the whole television thing. And it's like when you ask, would I allow my kids to go into it? I allow my kids to do whatever it is in their beautiful minds they want to do. But I will give them some diehard facts about this industry that you need to know
Right.
if you're going to get involved in it, because I'd rather you be ready than have to get ready.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Whew. So
yeah.
tell
So,
me, how did you get the name? Because your last name is not Grinding. How did you
no,
get that added on to your name?
kind of like you said, I got my hands in so much stuff, construction, production, studios, stocks, real estate is crazy. So the name pretty much is it's like it's I grind all the time. That's what I'm doing.
All the
Yes,
time.
all the time,
When do you sleep?
whenever I can. I'm like every other man that comes and works, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. Come home. I sleep whenever I start watching television.
Mm.
Watch TV,
Wow.
raise the kids, go to sleep, get back up, I'm gone again. So, it has to, lifestyle has to be maintained. Family has to be taken care of. So you do what you got to do.
I agree. So what's next for you?
Well, in the process of opening up a couple of more studios, we got one opening in Charlotte, 10,000 square foot, and I'm reopening a 15,000 square foot building I had in Kernersville for a lot. I did a lot of appointment only work out there. Most of our facilities are private facilities. We don't deal with the public too much. Not a lot of money in the public. Try to stay private sector. Although I
Mm.
am willing to help a lot of up and coming producers,
Okay.
put them in faces some people that could help them get some places, perhaps put money in their pocket.
Hmm. Wow. So I know I
You know,
know a good bit of producers, especially in South Carolina.
okay, yes, yeah, on my way. I think my buddy KP is down that way.
Hmm.
So he's my boy Catrell.
Yeah.
He's it's my boy, it's my brother right there. Good guy. If you can catch him, you can catch me.
Can't catch him. He
Well, you
always
see,
busy.
well, me and you've been trying to have this meeting for a month or two, ain't right? So
Yep.
it's that crazy schedule stuff. So
Man.
I barely talk to like me and my good friends. We all share buildings together, and we barely see each other. So it's,
Wow.
but everybody's busy. So that's the thing. That's what we in it for, being busy.
I mean, if you're not busy, you're not making any money. So I get it.
True.
Get
Or
it complete.
making moves is not necessarily always about money, but you're not getting anything accomplished. No movement is no movement.
You're right. So do you have any studios in the South Carolina area
Not
or,
yet.
or Georgia?
My brother, yeah, we had our Sam Stone Studios down in Georgia, Atlanta. We shot quite a few videos. We did the Nas, My President is Black. We did Future when he was Titty Boy. Me, No ID, Sam Stone, Astronaut Mike, and a few other people from our Dungeon family down there. So yeah, I mean we've had studios up and down the coast in every major city, from New York to Miami.
Okay, because
But
I
as
know
far as opening up a new spot there, probably not in the near future. I got a lot of my dungeon family friends down there. If I do got people, I send them their way.
okay. Because I do I know a producer that's actually in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hmm.
Um he's really good. Really good. I don't know what his path is, but he moved to Atlanta from South Carolina to try to better his craft. So
Yeah, a lot of people
really
move
good.
to Atlanta, but with this, that's the thing I like about now these times you don't have to move anywhere. I mean, you
No.
got. I mean, where are you at right now?
North Carolina.
So you're in North Carolina, but we in two different cities. So therefore,
Exactly.
you don't have to move anywhere. You can stay where you are and just bring the notoriety. It's better for you to do it where you are versus Atlanta. Because when we were in Atlanta, this is when Atlanta first started booming. Like everybody just started talking about Atlanta out the blue. So we were just so happened to be down there. We opened up a studio off of Hank Aaron Drive, and it did pretty well. But one thing I learned about Atlanta is kind of like it started turning into an LA.
Mm,
If you've never been to LA, half of the
mm,
population of LA were people that thought they could make it in Hollywood.
yeah, you're right.
90% of people in Tent City thought they could make it in Hollywood. And what's going on is what people don't realize is you go to these places now. Now it's just an influx of people like you in an
Mhm.
area where people who are making money and spending big money can barely get notoriety, get any kind of notoriety. So
Right.
if you're not getting noticed because you're just an average Joe, when you're going there, I tell people stay where you are, make a jump where you are, and then if you find a niche and you decide to go there, then go there.
Hmm.
Y'all stop moving to Atlanta. Atlanta's full.
It's
It's
full.
full. It's full, y'all.
And
Ain't
Charlotte
trying
is
to think.
almost there too.
Yeah, Charlotte's. Oh yeah, because Charlotte's catching all the overflow from Atlanta. Now
Exactly.
they think they're going to come to Charlotte and do, but like I said, Charlotte is kind of like it's just a small Atlanta. It's people in Charlotte. They spend good money to make their name. To get the what little notoriety they get. You're not going to just pop up and be hot and think that
Exactly.
doesn't work anywhere. It never works. I used to tell people I'm gonna invite you to come and be to Hollywood. Let me show you Tent City before you decide to move somewhere and listen to some of the stories. I started working on a documentary a few years ago. I think I'm going to pull it out and finish it, blow the dust off of it. But it was a documentary. It was about Tent City and where people came from. And 80% of the stories were people that thought, you know, they were great, they were talented, they were well liked and loved. But when they got there, they realized that this is not what any of this is about. This is business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I tell that young man, stay where you are. Don't worry about Atlanta. Make Atlanta come to you. They will.
Mm,
People will come to you if you make enough noise. You don't have to go anywhere.
you're right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So my most important question for you, if I'm a question for you, is where can people follow your journey?
You can follow me anywhere. Check out Connected Television if you got public access. You in a major city, east or west coast. You can pull up our shows on public access and regional channels there. You got IG, and I do a little TikTok and stuff like that. But I mean, that's about it with me. Physical television and radio. Be on the listen. Be on the lookout. And check out what few social media platforms I have now. I'm in the process of opening up another website. So I have some info for that once I finish up all the good stuff like that I'm doing. I'm gonna end up putting most of my television shows on that, most of my bigger shows anyway.
Okay. Okay. Please get me that information. So
Oh,
I
most
can definitely
definitely.
share it.
Well, you
But
got
thank
my number, so if nothing else, I'll be sending you the text. Let's give me a minute to send it.
I know that now. It's okay. I've been patient.
Yeah, I
Well,
sure appreciate y'all being patient. Yeah, because I was sitting there, I was telling my buddy, I said, man, this is crazy. Cause see, I got a whole just tore this whole room down.
wow. So what you gonna
So
do with it?
uh just changing the look.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah,
changing the look. I like
yeah,
that
me and the
red though.
guy.
That's red.
Oh yeah, we got
I
red,
love red.
yeah, red, purple, black, and burgundy colors in here. So I think I'm going to end up doing black and gold next.
Mm, okay,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
so
nice.
yeah, because I got 2 studios now. They red and purple. So I'm trying. I think I'm gonna go like black and gold, and the last one I'm going to open up is probably going to be all green and white. So
Okay. Is that you were holding? Is that the soundproof phone?
yeah, I just ripped all the stuff off the wall.
Does that really work?
Yeah, it didn't sound. If you're going to record, these particular panels are okay. I got thicker panels for like mastering. Let's see. Pull out some of my favorite RLX panels. So you can get panels like this for about $100 a panel.
Mm. Wow.
So yes, basically all they do is deaden sound. They deaden reverb, deaden resonation and stuff like that. They kill the hollow sound out of room. So like if I clap, you can kind of hear like it sounds like a wet clap. Well, once you hang all these up, it's just dry. It just sounds like a snap.
Okay.
So yeah, they work. It's worth the money.
I need to invest in
Definitely
something
worth the
like
money.
that.
You need some? I got a whole bunch of them right here.
Send it my way. I
Most
sure can
definitely.
use it. Well,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much, Mr. Brian, for taking out time of your busy schedule.
Hey, I appreciate you guys even thinking about me, man. You know, it makes me feel special. People still keep me in mind.
And I appreciate my cousin Cap for connecting us to each other. He connected me to
Hey,
so many people.
you tell Mama I said make sure he's sitting down and resting. I know how you do. You better be resting, homie.
Cap is not resting.
He's not gonna rest. You know, he don't listen. He used to laugh at me when I said that. He's like, man, I'm gonna rest, OG. No, you're not.
He can't help it. It's in the bloodline. He can't
There
help
you
it.
go. That's a good brother. I wouldn't change him for the world, though, man.
I just realized that me and him have that in common. We don't rest.
Well,
We don't
that's
rest.
how. Hey, great people don't have time to rest. You busy doing being great, so you do what you do.
Exactly.
There you go.
Thank you so much again, and thank you everyone else out there for tuning into another epic episode of Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nikki, Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. Thank you for continuing to subscribe to all platforms, the YouTube channel. Please like and share. Tonight at 6 p.m., where we're having the Breaking the Silence open mic. At 6 p.m., we have some amazing talent come across the stage for 5 featured artists. So please tune in at 6 p.m. to see them grace the stage. On Monday, May 6th, Lady V, the poet out of Atlanta, Georgia, will be on the stage at 12 o'clock. So please tune in for the next episode of Breaking the Silence. And it's May. So I would like to honor 2 mothers this month. So if you know someone, please reach out to me so I can honor at least 2 mothers. I want to do a motherhood drive, but it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. So if you know someone that's been that backbone of your family, please reach out to me and let me know so I can honor them for Mother's Day. Thank you, Mr. Brian, and we will be in touch. Don't be a stranger.
There you go. Hey, likewise. Hope to talk to you soon.
You as well. And thank you everyone else for tuning in, and continue to do good things. Just start and everything else will fall in place. So tune in next time to Break the Silence together.